Since, obviously, the days of Nostradamus, there's been many people who've tried to foresee the future. Karl, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but there's endless, predictions. Apparently there are other planets that may collide with ours. There's some scientific basis on this. And obviously, I don't know if you've seen the posters for that recent film 2012. Well, that's based on this notion of some kind of Mayan calendar, which supposedly predicts the end of the world as being 2012. But if you knew with certainty that today was the end of the world, how would you spend that final day? I mean, this seems weird to me, but I think I'd like to experience a lot of the extremes of existence. So, for instance, I've always wanted to smash up a bar. Do you know what I mean? It's strange, but I've always wanted the exhilaration of just smashing all those bottles, like you see in a film.
But would you enjoy it as much, knowing that you're going to die in 8 hours?
I don't know, I suppose it's the sense of abandon, I mean, maybe I'd murder a person.
Wow.
Just see, I don't know, but I think I'd probably go mental.
Because
I've always been a very reserved person, I've never got into a fight, I've never caused a rumpus.
Yeah, but that's a worrying thought, because we don't have to have the end of the world for it to be the end of your world, because a lot of people know that they're terminally ill, so they don't go around smashing up bars and killing people.
But I suppose I know there'll be no repercussions ultimately, because the next day everyone's gone, so there's not going to be mourning families.
But then how dare you deprive that person of his last 8 hours or 10 hours of life?
I don't care, because it's the last day on Earth.
Well, that's true.
I know the moral guilt that I'll feel is over in a few hours.
Morality isn't relative just to repercussion, is it? Because
no, but the point is
you can do things without repercussion. But often people say, what would you do if you never got caught, or would you do it if there is repercussions for that person, as grave as they might be, just because you feel that it's no big deal either way, that they're only going to live another 8 hours, they might feel differently. And you're saying, well, you won't care because you won't be around. But then, why do people care about their loved ones when they won't be around? Why do people get a will ready?
Because my point is that they know that those people will continue to live for an indeterminate amount of time.
So you do care about the other person's feelings?
Of course I do. Oh, no, of course I do. But my point is, knowing that everyone is going to be wiped off the face of the earth the following day, all of those repercussions are no longer quite the same.
I'd find it hard to divorce myself from my morality that's ingrained just because it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, I honestly, to me, it seems that we're approaching just the end of all things, and so I'm saying that there's something about the fact that we're all going to end that somehow seems very liberating.
What would you do?
I've always wanted to kick a duck up the arse.